All right, more now on that breaking news we brought you at the top of the hour. President Biden's personal attorney has confirmed that the Department of Justice is now conducting a search of his Delaware beach house for classified documents. This is happening after those classified documents were discovered at his former office at the Penn Biden Center and also his private home. I want to read to you part of what his attorney said this morning. This is Bob Bauer, an attorney for President Biden. He says, quote, "Today, the president's full support and cooperation. The DOJ is conducting a planned search of his home in Rehoboth, Delaware, under the DOJ standard procedures and in the interest of operational security and integrity. It sought to do this work without advance public notice. We agreed to cooperate. The search today is a further step in a thorough and timely DOJ process. We'll continue to support and facilitate. We'll have more information at the conclusion of today's search." I want to bring in now, once again, trial attorney, legal analyst Brian Claypool. Thank you. Is this due diligence? Is it anything more than that?
Well, Marnie, there's two things about this. I agree with the DOJ. They're doing their job. They're following up. I said this a week or two ago. They need to go through every single residence, beach home, office of President Biden and do a search. So that on one hand, that's great. The DOJ needs to do this. On the other hand, the part that's troubling to me is we keep hearing that same statement that you read. Oh, the lawyers for President Biden are, oh, yes, we're fully cooperating. Yes, come on over and, search the home. But why haven't they provided these documents before? That what are we going to now find another home or another office, and then they call up the DOJ and say, "Oh, come on over, we're cooperating." I mean, this really is troubling. I mean, we need a list of every home that President Biden has lived in, or beach home and offices, Marnie. And I think the DOJ just needs to go to each one of those places and let's get these documents. The difference, the difference between the classified documents former President Trump had and President Biden have is with Trump, Marnie, all the classified documents were in one location in Mar-a-Lago. And even though he was a bit difficult in allowing access to them, we knew they were all there. Here, we don't know where these classified documents keep popping up. And that's troubling.
Well, do we know that? I mean, we know that the Mar-a-Lago documents were found at Mar-a-Lago, but there could potentially be other searches for former President Trump, just as we're seeing in the Biden investigation. We don't. I mean, the problem is we don't know because the transfer of these documents seems to not follow proper protocols. It's messy.
Right. So to your point, great point. So to your point, I would go back to former President Trump. Tell me, go through every single residence that he had, a beach home, a former office, an existing office. Same thing with President Biden. Why aren't we getting a list of every single place that both former President Trump and current President Biden, lived at or offices, and let's just do searches on all of these locations rather than doing this piecemeal.
Right. So I guess, can you answer your own question? Why aren't they, and why didn't they go through every single possible option property document up until now? And they still aren't. It seems as though they're just kind of following the trail instead of just investigating it as thorough as possible in the present.
Yeah, I think Trump was handled differently than Biden. I think with current President Biden, I think the DOJ is going about it a little bit more methodically because his lawyers have stepped up and they've said, "Oh, we're going to work with you. We're going to cooperate. You can come over and search the beach home." So I think what that's doing is it's kind of downshifting with the DOJ. They don't feel like more of a sense of urgency to just get a list of every single residence, beach home, and office and go and do these searches. It's to me, Marnie, it's a bit more casual because there is cooperation on Biden's end. But with that said, I mean, I've done a lot of research on this. I mean, for example, Hunter Biden had an office in Georgetown, years ago in 2019, where he had asked for to have a partnership with this gentleman that was with this Chinese energy company, right? Why is that important? Well, maybe the search on the Biden classified documents needs to even extend to maybe an office that Hunter Biden is currently in and any residence that he's in. So I think there needs to be a little bit more detail and expansion on this classified document search with President Biden.
Well, legally speaking, does the DOJ have the authority to search Hunter Biden's office?
Well, it's a great question. The issue is probable cause. Is there probable cause? That's why I'm telling you now. In 2019, Hunter Biden had an office space in Georgetown in Washington, D.C., and he'd even asked to have He even asked for keys for his father, President Biden and Jill, and then this gentleman who was with the CEFC, is the Chinese energy company. So I'm just telling you, is that enough? I don't know. I don't know if a judge would approve that. But let's call it what it is. I mean, some of the concern here is are some of these classified documents pertaining to anything related to Burisma or this company CEFC?
Or national security, and who saw any of these documents when they were in possession in some of these private homes. All right, Brian, I'm out of time. Brian Claypool, thank you. We'll be talking to you throughout the hour on some of the other major breaking news happening this morning. Good to see you.